Hey Chevra, welcome back to Opining on Olam Haba. We continue, but just as a quick review from last week, the Rambam went through a discussion of what Olam Haba is by telling us what it isn't. And he said he's going to detail several kitot, several groups of people who have different ideas, erroneous ideas of what Olam Haba is. The last one we did was this concept of like the physical Olam Haba, everything, eating and drinking and not worrying about anything, and world of physical pleasures and delights in Gan Eden, and hell being, being tortured, and the devils and fiery furnace and so on and so forth. Now we're up to the second kat shniya. If you're following along in the text that I provided, it'll be paragraph 3. Tisbor v'tachshov she'atova u'miyuchelet hu yemos HaMashiach mehera yigaleh. He says there's a second group of people who think that the good that we're looking for, right, that we're striving towards, right, when we talk about Olam Haba, is talking about Yemos HaMashiach, the Messianic era, which should come speedily, God willing. V'chi ba'oto azman yiyu bnei adam kulam malachim, kulam chayamim v'kayamim la'ad. And at that time, all people are going to be like angels. They're going to be living forever. V'yagbihu b'komotam. Everyone will be very, pardon me, it was dinner. Everyone will be very tall. V'yirbu v'yatzmu ad shioshiva, and everyone's going to be healthy. And they're going to be numerous, and will multiply, and will be vast. Ad shioshivu kol olam la'ad la'olam. Until the entire world will be populated in this kind of way. V'oso HaMashiach, kefi machshavtam, and this Messianic era, according to their understanding, yichyet la'ad be'ezer Hashem Yisbarach, will live forever, right? Will be, things will be strong, will be numerous, and will live forever. And in that time, the earth will give forth produce, but not regular produce. It'll be woven clothing, right? Clothing will literally grow from the trees. And bread, well, like we said, will be growing from the trees, will be on plants and so on. Totally fully baked bread. Udvarim harbe ka'ela shehem minam nimnaot, and many things like this that are completely out of the realm of possibility, right? That are on some level silly. But yeah, as we explained, by the way, right, this Messianic era kind of existence is really a reference to the world we live in today, as we talked about it in the Mashiach musings, that these were the prophecies, right? But we just understand them in a different kind of way, right? To imagine that you could go to the Gap and buy whatever clothing you need or whatever clothing you want, right? Just like that. Or even to imagine with a click of a button now, right? Which is most commerce is e-commerce now, right? Yeah, the click of a button, all of a sudden something's going to show up at your house. Soon, by the way, there won't even be regular human delivery people. There will be drones that are dropping off our packages that we just ordered with a click of a button. Unbelievable, right? That's begadim arugim, right? That will come from the ground. Lechem afui, right? That I could eat bread, again, at the click of a button. I could walk into a supermarket, bread's there, I don't have to work for it. And I'll pay a little bit, and I'll get. V'chiara hi shelo yiya'ada matsui be'otan hayamim, v'lo yizker lir'oto, u'mivi'in raya b'dvarim rabim. And what's the bad? So what's hell? If that's heaven is we're going to live in the Messianic era. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be like angels. We're going to live forever. There's going to be no sickness. Everything's going to be tailor-made for us, literally, without any work. And what's the negative? The negative is that during those times, there'll be certain people that won't merit to live in that era. V'lo yizkeh l'roto. They'll be taken up. It's almost like, well, I guess it's the opposite. The Christians have this idea of the rapture, right? That the world is going to go to nothing, right? It's going to be, go into the end. There's a really inappropriate movie. I think it's called This Is the End. Ridiculous movie, but it's about rapture. But the idea being that, that righteous people will be pulled away, and it'll only be the wicked people left, in kind of a hell on earth kind of experience. What he's saying is the opposite. No, earth will become this messianic, idyllic existence. And what's hell? Hell will be, you're going to be pulled away. You're not going to get there. You'll be somewhere else while all of this great stuff is going on. Okay? That's the second idea. Again, he's bringing down ideas that are not necessarily what we believe. He's giving, different conceptions that people have. And everyone brings proofs to their ideas. Bidvar Rabim, Mitzuyin l'chachamim, ubiksuvim b'mikra, yaskim pshatam, l'mashe morim oliktato. And everyone will bring support from scripture, from the sayings of Chazal, of the sages, the simple meaning of which is in agreement with what they are saying or with some of it, right? As we talked about, right? The prophets talk about a time when, the bread will be growing on the trees and so on. That doesn't mean that, right? Or everything will be healed. Hello, look what's happening. We had a virus that paralyzed humanity, and all of a sudden, I'm saying it so often, but it's true. We have to realize the miraculous nature of this. All of a sudden, there's a platform that's able to create a vaccine in less than a year, right? That's messianic stuff, right? That's what's happening. Okay, so that's another idea of Olam Haba. The Shlishit. There's a third group of people. What do they think? Tachshov, we're on paragraph 4. Ki atova shenekavet tchiyat hametim. He says, no. What we're looking forward to is not this Gan Eden, this paradise, this physical paradise experience. Not this messianic era experience, but it's really talking about the resurrection of the dead. Tchias HaMesim. That when we say, you'll get this in Olam Haba, it's talking about the resurrection. The resurrection of the dead. Everyone's resurrection of the dead. We don't believe that anyone was resurrected yet, right? As opposed to some other religions. That a person will live after his death. And, so that you'll come back. You'll come back after death, and you and your relatives will come back, your household, your family, and you'll eat and you'll drink with them. V'lo yamut, and you won't die after that. V'lo yamut od. And then what's the negative? What's the bad? What's the Gehenna? The hell experience? Shalo yichya achar moso. Hell is, you're not going to be zoche to that. You're not going to have, you won't merit the resurrection of the dead. And everyone else will, but not you. Imotam sheyichyu u'mevi'in raya al zeh b'ma'amaram rabim mitzuyim divrei chachamim. And again, they bring a whole lot of rabbinic sayings that come to buttress their arguments. U'bipsukim min hamikra, and from scripture, shepshutam yoreh al ma shehim omrim ol ktato. Again, that come to attest to most of what they say, or a little bit of what they say. This is a very important idea, right? When we think about resurrection of the dead, yes, we believe in all these things. Notice what the Rambam is going through. Yes, we believe in schar v'onesh. It's part of the 13 principles of faith. We believe that there is an Olam Haba, reward and punishment for in Olam Haba, whatever that is. We're getting there. We believe in the Messianic era. We believe in Mashiach. Maybe not the Mashiach they're describing. We do believe in Mashiach, as we discussed in our previous section. And we do believe in Tchias HaMesim. We believe in the resurrection of the dead. There's a beautiful song called Someday. Someday we will all be together, right? When there's going to be, Mashiach's going to come. And what is Mordechai ben David, God bless him, he conflates. And he says, there's going to be Mashiach. And then he says, Abraham and Yitzchak will be there to greet us. Yaakov and his sons will stand by and smile. They're going to be back. Well, that's the resurrection of the dead. Isn't that different than the Messianic era? Well, what is he looking for? So it's kind of it's mixed up in that as well, because it is a different conception. That's not necessarily the Olam Haba that we're talking about. The Kad Revi'it, the fourth group of people. What do they think? Tachshov ki hakavana shetagia lanu ba'asiyas hamitzvos hi menuchas haguf ve'asogas hatayvos ha'olamiyut ba'olam hazeh. The fourth group believe that the intention of that which is to come, the Olam Haba, is for doing the commandments, is physical rest, menuchas haguf, right? Physical rest, and the attainment of worldly desires in this world. They believe, do the mitzvos. Olam Haba, right here. As I had a Rebbe, Rav Golvich, what sweet, sweet Torah came from Rav Golvich, and he would say, Me'en Olam Haba ba'olam hazeh, right? A little bit of this world, of next world, in this world, right? That really, they're saying that, you're going to get reward right here. All the stuff. You'll have great wealth, and you'll have prosperity. You'll live off the fat of the land. And you'll have, everything's going to go great with your children, your family, and you'll be healthy. What you have to do, just do the mitzvos. You'll be fine. You'll have peace. You'll have security. You'll have prosperity. Done. And the king of Israel, whoever that will be, he'll rule over those our persecutors. Because everything will be okay. You'll have full peace and security and all the good stuff. And what's the negative? What's the hell experience? If we deny the validity of Torah, right? The opposite. You'll be persecuted. You'll be harried. You'll have problems with parnasa. You'll have problems with family, etc. You won't be healthy. Like things are now in the Galus, says the Rambam, right? Going here and there, as we discussed, right? He started his life in Spain and he was forced out and went to Israel during the Crusader period, was forced out of there and moved to Egypt and so on. Right now, he's sort of in that flux period of going from Spain to Israel and so on. So it's like, I'm living through this hell right now, essentially, he's saying. And they'll bring all of their proofs from the Torah, the aklalos, and all the curses in the Torah, and the blessing in the Torah, and all of the stories in the Torah. They'll tell you, this is the way it goes. And I'll finish up with this. The Kara Chamishit, and the fifth group says, Ve'im harbe mechabrim ha'inyanim ha'ele kulam. The fifth group are people that just conflate everything. Like we said, like the Someday song, they conflate everything. It's hell, it's heaven on earth, and we get all things good, we're going to live forever, we're going to be resurrected. It's all of that like good stuff that we hear about, that we've heard about from Psukim, from the Chazal, and they mix it all together, big mishkababel. The Omrim, Katochelet hu sheyavo Mashiach. The Yechaya Mason, that Mashiach's going to come, and we'll have resurrection of the dead, V'yikansu Gan Eden, and we'll go into the Garden of Eden, into paradise, V'yochlu Sham Yishtu, and we'll eat and we'll drink, V'yubrim Kol Yimosa Olam, and we'll be healthy and whole the rest of our lives, and so on. Yeah, very nice. And he's like, you know what? None of this is true. Not it. If these were in your thoughts, says the Rambam, I want you to take them out of your thoughts. In paragraph 7, Olam Haba. He's like, no one has this right. Reprogram yourself, deprogram yourself, and let's find the real answers next week in Mirza Hashem. Have a great day.